If you want to experience real China, then explore the countryside or the remote area. They're also developing at a rapid pace. My name is Shamim Zakaria. I hail from India and I'm a journalist. Before coming to China, my source of knowledge or information about China was very limited because I feel that whatever information in the world we get in China, it's mainly through the perspective of the Western media. When I first arrived in China, I didn't even bring my camera with me because I thought perhaps photography is prohibited. Of course, I was very embarrassed because as an Indian, China is our next door neighbor. And only after coming here and experiencing, I realized how little we know about our next door neighbor. And since then, I have endeavored to tell the China story in a better way so that when people come to China, they don't hold such misconceptions. China is vast. There are so many stories. In India, we say that if you have to learn something, travel the world. If you want to acquire knowledge, go to China because historically, China is known for abundance of knowledge, its culture. And the best way to learn about any country would be to know about the stories about the people. My first adventure with China began with a small prefecture level city called Jishou, which is in the Shaanxi, Miao and Tujiao autonomous prefecture. When you talk about China, we mainly think about Beijing, Shanghai, Shenzhen, the first tier cities. But China goes much beyond that. The first thing that struck me after I arrived in Changsha was the people. I can say Chinese people are the nicest and kindest in the world. I barely speak any Chinese, but that hasn't caused me any trouble. The people are so nice and kind and they are so accommodative that it makes the entire experience of living in China a breeze. You see, any country is made by the geographical boundaries. But what makes a country actually is its people. Another thing that struck me was the infrastructure. Once, a friend of mine invited me to a very, very remote mountainous village, and it was for the Qingming festival, which in English is the tomb sweeping festival in China. I was a little hesitant at first because my impression is villages, rural area, far away, maybe roads are not well built, not well connected. I will have connectivity issues on my phone. But when I embarked on the journey, it just opened up my eyes and it made me realize how wrong I was. Because even though that small hamlet is in the hinterlands on the mountainous region, still it's so well connected with the county seat through well-built infrastructure. And when I arrived there, I had no problem with communication because it was connected with high-speed internet. And what even surprised me more was that some of the people are really old, but they were using mobile for high-speed internet. And if I think about my older generation, my grandparents, they just know how to use the phone to call. If you want to experience real China, then explore the countryside or the remote area. They're also developing at a rapid pace. And which brings me to a very important point, which is the government. It shows that the government give equal importance to each and every sector of the society and each and every person. Even the last person in the remote village get equal importance. So that's a very, very important thing that I saw in China. This is my 5th year in China, and not even for once I have regretted my decision to move to this country. I know you must be curious about China. So if you have a chance, do visit this country and experience its amazing people and culture. And maybe some of the problems in your own country can be solved through Chinese wisdom and experience.